Hello everyone and welcome back to a new vlog. So we're going to open this one up with an unboxing and then we'll get into what we normally do. And I do hope you're not getting bored of these vlogs. So if you're not getting bored of these vlogs, drop me a comment, just tell me how much you enjoy them, or not for that matter, or what you'd like to see in them. But with all that being said, let's get to this unboxing. Now I have taken this off I've taken the packaging off this and hidden my address. So these are from my good friend Daniel over at Royal Shrimps. And if we lift that off, we've got a bag within a bag and some insulation. Let's get this outer bag off and show you what's in there. So as you guys know from following my videos, we had a few panda shrimp that we were given and I didn't want to leave them all on their own. So what we've done is we've added some more. And you can just about see these guys. So Daniel sent me some good grade pandas. They all look fine. They are a little bit cold. So what we're going to do is just sit them on top of the tank in this bag, the tank that they'll be going in, and that will just sort of bring them up to temperature. Once they're up to temperature, then I'll look at acclimating them. Just looking at these in a bit more detail, there's some good shadowing within these, quite blue. So that'll be interesting to see once they've coloured up and in the tank. I actually left these most of the day just floating, forgot about them, but we're currently dripping them now. So there's you'll see them better once they're off the sponge, but hopefully I don't forget about them and flood the room. So I do think we've dripped enough for now. That's a good 200-300% increase. So now it's just a case of catching them and putting them in their new tank. I did manage to get a good net fall this time. Although I'm doing this left-handed, so it's a little bit tricky. But let's drop the net out, and that's probably a better view of them. The blue one's nice at the back. Got my first delivery of my own merch, one for myself. So let's get this open, show you guys what we've got. So this is a t-shirt and it's with the Shrimp Genetics logo on the front. So you've got the helicoil, the DNA helicoil here, loads of shrimp and the genetics bit. So these are viewable on my YouTube channel. So you should be able to click on shop and this should show you these and our designs. And they're actually, it's not like a rubber, it's actually printed into the material itself. So it's quite soft and flexible, which I really like. But let's see what the fitment's like. So apart from me needing to put a microphone on the neck piece, fitment's really good. One of the things I struggle with, I've got quite a long body and shorter legs. So fitment's good. I measured across, I could probably have gone a size smaller. One of the things I often struggle with is the length of a shirt, and these are well below the belt line. And as I mentioned, I've got a longer body and quite short legs in comparison. So quite pleased with the quality. Quality is quite nice. Be interesting to see how these wash up. I really like this t-shirt and you'll be seeing this in plenty of my videos. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let's get to the next section. Morning, everybody. Currently Sunday the 10th of November and we're just in the room doing a bit of maintenance. So we'll start with the frogs. And all I'm doing with these is just giving them a bit of a mist So a bit of a spray down. They jump all over the place. I hate being sprayed. Making sure I get hold of this varicosum at the back and give it a good watering. And then sometimes what happens is any flies that are hiding, any fruit flies that were fed yesterday, just sort of reappear from where they've been hiding, and that's my maintenance done for the frogs. Next I'm going to feed the snails and the guppies, so I've already put in an algae wafer, and then all I do, because this is a glass top and for me it's a bit of a pain to sort of open, I just put a bit of food on top for the guppies and then simply just slide it in. The guppies go away and have a feed, and every now and then obviously I'll clean that. Next I'm going to give the spiders a bit of a mist. So I use a fine mister for these most times. A couple of sprays. And they were fed yesterday. And that's the spiders done. And then finally on this rack is the isopods at the top. And I have noticed a few of these have been escaping. So I do want to sort of re-tub these up into a better tub. And I think they're escaping through a little gap here. So as these have sort of curled, as this acrylic's curled, it's actually opened up a gap here. So I do need to think about retubbing these, hence why I've got the rock on the top, actually just trying to push that down a little bit. But I haven't fed those, and you may notice in here there's some plant material. So this is just some aquatic plants that I've removed, and these aquatic plants will eventually break down, and obviously these are detrivores, so they'll eat those. But that's them done. Going to do water changes on this rack, so I've got enough water mix to do this rack. I've got a few bits to do, a bit of algae that needs to come out, just check for sort of any deceased, and I'll probably do a test on a tank on the bottom. So let's get to that with a bit of time lapse. What I tend to do is 20% on the smaller 25 litre tanks and 10% on the 50 litre tanks. And just like that, we've done water changes on 12 tanks. Just need to hook that up, switch the pump on, forget about it, job done. What I do want to show you is the new shrimp and how they've settled in, and I also want to show you some new food. So I'm not stocking this, it's just something that I've been given to try. Let me show you. So the foods I've been given by my friend Bone, don't even know the make of these, but I've been given a white crystal, and I've also been given a black diamond. So white crystal are for crystal shrimp with white in them, must be a white enhancer, and obviously black enhances the black. Bone is from Hong Kong. This has got Chinese writing on, so I'm not sure of the brand, but I will speak to him. He popped these through my letterbox yesterday. So I have fed them yesterday, but I want to show you guys these, and it'll be an interesting test because I don't normally feed every day. Now these are my panda that we had the other day, and they've been settled in. They've been in 3 or 4 days, looking good. And because they're obviously a black crystal, I want to try this black diamond crystal food. This one. So they come as like a long stick, and you break off how much you want. Now I only want a small piece because they were fed yesterday. So let's see if we can get these to respond quickly. So it actually looks green underwater, but look how quick these guys respond to that. So that one was on that within seconds. It looks like the others are starting to get a bit of a scent. So it hasn't taken long, and they're all sort of moving towards that, a couple of them on it. When I say they were literally fed yesterday, they are still eating a piece of food over there. So they, you know, the fact that they're sort of coming to that and congregating around that when there's other food in the tank says everything to me. And this tank is the one I'm cycling. So I've been speaking to my friend Kaz, and well, I've bought some shrimp off Kaz, and once this is cycled, I'll get those shrimp in. So keep an eye out for that one. It might be in this video. Depends how quick I can get this cycled. Interestingly, I've noticed that my spotted pintos have started breeding, and they're breeding really well, which is nice to see for a change. And just one final look at how well that food seemed to perform. So the shrimp are sort of on it, even though there's other food in the tank. Not everybody's gone to it, but there's a good half a dozen there. So now it's Monday the 11th, so Armistice Day. So Monday the 11th of November, and yesterday I did the change on the big rack, and now I'm going to do water changes on the middle and the end racks. I'm back onto my GH plus LC. Not that I prefer it, but literally because I'm out of the SL Aqua and I've found no difference between the two. Just managed to get a large bottle of this, so that's a litre bottle instead of the 500ml. So I'm going to use this for my own personal use. I'll show you what I'm doing. Get the water. I've got the water in from outside. It's now at room temp. So I'm going to make a mix, check the mix, and show you what I do with that. I'm going to start with 30ml of the LC. Literally tip that into the flow. Let that give a bit of a mix. I'll test that with my TDS pen, and then I'll start adding, based on what the TDS reading. This should take 40ml. I can't remember if I emptied it completely, so I'm going to sort of do it in 5 or 3ml or 2ml increments. Let's give this a quick test. And I'm looking for, so it's on about 100. Let that mix a little bit further. And I want to do this before I put anything else in. I want to get this to at least 140, ideally 150, or between 140 and 150 TDS. Just because I know that that gives me 5 GH, and that's sort of smack bang in the middle of where I need to be. Let's test that again. So it's still fluctuating quite a bit. It's different in different parts of the bucket, but I'm around the 100 mark. So on the basis that that's on the 100, I am going to add another 5ml. And I reckon I'll end up adding about 38-40ml to this. Let's get the 5ml in. And I'm doing this, as I said, with the syringe. Let that mix. Now that we've got that to 146, that's about as close as I'm going to get it, 146, 147. What I'm going to do is add what I always add. So that's shrimp trace. And there's a couple of different types of shrimp trace at the moment. I'm using Quail Drop and Quail Drop Rich one. So let's put those in as well. The dosing on shrimp trace is 1ml for water change, 1ml per 20 litres. So this is an 80-litre bin, and that gives me, I usually put 5ml in, but I'm going to put 8ml in this time, because you can put it directly into the tank, half to 1ml per 20 litres. But I'm quite happy with putting that in sort of as we need to. And then finally, what we're going to put in is my old trusted Rich one. So Rich one is a humic and fulvic acid, and I know people that watch me sort of, I'm repeating myself, and it's 5ml per 20 litres, or it's a spoon per 20 litres. So I put 4 of those in to that bucket, and then I let that mix. So I've done this before the water changes, and I won't use all of this water. But alternatively, what you can also use is you can use an SL Aqua dark extract. You can also use a Blackwater Fulvo, so that does similar. And likewise, you can also use a different shrimp trace. So we sell both of those. We sell the Shrimps Forever shrimp trace and the Quoll Drop shrimp trace. And the Blackwater Fulvo is Shrimps Forever. The rich one is a powdered form by Quoll Drop, and the dark extract is by SL Aqua, and we stock all of those as well. Just something to mention, I caught the guppies out of the snail tank yesterday out of here, and I've moved them into one of the plant tubs for now, I spotted them attacking the snails as the snails were crawling around, specifically the mysteries, and they were proper pecking at them. So I thought, you know what, they can come out. If they're going to be aggressive like that, they can come out. So this tank is literally going to be for shrimp calls and for snails, and that's it. Switch the fill pump on, and just like that, that's another 2, 4, that's another 8 tanks water change. It's that quick. Hi everyone, it's currently the 19th of November, 18th or 19th of November I believe, and I haven't picked the camera up in a while. I've gone into seasonal adjustment disorder and sort of gone into hibernation, but I'll flip the camera, I'll show you what I'm doing today, and we'll pick up from there. So I've got the TDS pen out, and you guys know that I'm not a TDS chaser, but every once in a while I do some big water changes. So I don't recommend this is just what I do, and obviously I know I can risk my shrimp, but what I've done is on the Galaxy tank, I've done a massive water change, probably circa 30 of the 45 litres, so you know, 65%. And then what I've done is I've gone through the other tanks, and you can see that some of them haven't changed any water, and dependent on TDS I've drained out what I believe to be, you know, the amount that will bring them back up. So these tanks aren't high, they're about 170 TDS, 180, all of them really, but I've sort of stopped short here, and this one's in the 200s. The tiger shrimp, they can sort of cope with it, but I do want to do a bigger water change on this fancy tiger tank, and I just want to keep an eye on how much water I'm going to use out my bin. Now, we did get snow last night, and on the basis that we got snow, if I bring water in from outdoors, it's just going to take a day or two to sort of get up to temp in the room. I don't heat or anything like that, can't afford the electric these days, but what I'll do is I'll sort of see where we get to. If I've got enough to do a big water change on this one, I'll probably put a little mark on each tank or a sticker, just to sort of see where I've got to with the sort of TDS chasing. It's once in a blue moon I do it, and then sort of work from there, but I haven't done much. You guys may have seen my pandas. These are sort of coming on nice now. There are a couple with some nice bluing in them, not heavy but enough to sort of separate out once to get the breeding going. But I'm still waiting for 2 lots of shrimp that I've asked them to hold on to for me, so we'll have to sort of pick up when those come in, if I do that in this video, that is. Currently Monday the 25th of November, doing a couple of little things in the room. First one is I was having some problems with the clips on here. So if you look here, I run out of these little coach bolts, so I bought some bolts, but the cover isn't fitting correctly, so I've been and ordered some new ones. So there's one of the flat ones, but unfortunately I ordered the wrong size. So I got M10s, I've had to reorder M8s. So that's a job that will get done. It's just to sort of get these bolt heads out of the way and have more flat ones, so the board fits better. So we've bought this cheap rainforest spray system, currently spraying every day. So we need to try and get that done. It does spray 2, so I don't know if I'm going to do 1 in each of the terrariums, but we'll have a play with that and see how that goes. And in there you get various bits and pieces, so tubes into a bottle. It's all cut with like RO, and that's your control unit. So I need to have a bit of play. I probably need to take the lights off the top of the frog terrarium. And the nice thing about the one on the right is this one actually does, the lid lifts up on this. So I'm probably going to work it out where I get a bottle and sit a bottle down there with RO water in, and then tube up and across. And the lid lifts up on this one, and there are bits and clips ready to sort of put that spray nozzle in place. So I might try it with one, see if it goes with one. If it doesn't go with one, I'll get another one. They're about 30 quid. So even if I end up getting one for each of the terrariums, that will still be cheaper than buying one that's designed for both of the terrariums. But I need to see how it works. So let's fold this down and we'll have a look. So we've bought this cheap rainforest spray system, currently spraying every day. So we need to try and get that done. It does spray too, so I don't know if I'm going to do one in each of the terrariums, but we'll have a play with that and see how that goes. And in there you get various bits and pieces, so tubes into a bottle. It's all cut with like RO, and that's your control unit. So I need to have a bit of play. I probably need to take the lights off the top of the frog terrarium. And the nice thing about the one on the right is this one actually does, the lid lifts up on this. So I'm probably going to work it out where I get a bottle and sit a bottle down there with RO water in, and then tube up and across. And the lid lifts up on this one, and there are bits and clips ready to sort of put that spray nozzle in place. So I might try it with one, see if it goes with one. If it doesn't go with one, I'll get another one. They're about 30 quid. So even if I end up getting one for each of the terrariums, that will still be cheaper than buying one that's designed for both of the terrariums. But I need to see how it works. So let's fold this down and we'll have a look. After a bit of jiggery pokery, we've got the first tube in. So this frog tank, there's the frog down there, look. So this frog tank does have sort of slots and holes. I need to sort of squeeze that to get it through. But then it's got clips along the side underneath. If I just show you those. So that hose actually goes into clips, and then I've got my nozzle here, and I've put an end stop on that nozzle. So it'd be nice, there is a little screw fit in there, so I might be able to run a little tiny cable tie that comes with the kit to hold that up, but I just want to fix it loosely at the moment. Frog's over there, look. I just want to fix it loosely at the moment, just so I want to see it working, if that makes sense, before I sort of finalise everything. Okay folks, so I had a little test and I ended up putting both of them in this tank. So one at the front there pointing diagonally towards the back, and then one pointing across the tank to water the plants down here and give them humidity. I haven't got anything pointing towards this corner because there isn't anything there. Let's frogs are quite amused by it, but let's get it working and I'll show you guys it working. I've made a tiny little change to the system because it's RO. I've put an elbow in here. So this is just, I've got a temporary water butt at the moment, which is the old spray one. I need to get a bucket or a tank or something for that. And I've currently got this set to come on 10 seconds every 24 hours, and that's sort of timed. I'll give you one last look at this working. That brings us to the end of this vlog. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you're not a subscriber and you like this type of content, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, leave us a comment, and I'll catch you all next time. Thanks everybody. Bye.